What's going on, everybody? Kalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is the beginner's guide to the visible midnight. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some more basic tips and tricks for this phone to help you get more familiar with the device. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my full review of it as well. But with all that being said, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is how to change the wallpaper. This is a real easy thing to do. All you need to do is go to Settings, go to Display, and from here, you're going to want to go to Wallpaper. And as you can see, we got a few different options. You can either choose from your own photos or this selection of visible wallpapers that are already on the phone. Now that was easy enough, but there's also a faster, more convenient way to do it that also gives you access to other settings you can customize on the home screen. So to get to this menu, all you need to do is press and hold a finger on the screen like this. And as you can see, this little menu is going to show up where you can customize home settings in general, switch up the widgets, and of course, change your wallpaper. Now keep in mind, this has to be on a blank spot on the home screen. If you press and hold on a widget, it's not going to do anything, or at least it's not going to do that. So be sure, if you want to get to that menu, to press and hold on a blank spot on the home screen like this. There we go. Real simple, definitely an easy and convenient way to customize your home screen. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change the system navigation. Now with this phone, by default, we're getting the classic 3-button navigation. And if you're a longtime Android user, I'm sure you're familiar with this. We got the back button, the home button, and of course, the recent apps button. But you can also customize this a little by switching up the order of the buttons or even getting rid of the buttons completely. So let's take a look at how to do this. First things first, we're going to go to Settings. And just so no one gets confused, there are several different ways I'm going to be accessing the settings menu in this video. First one is going to the app drawer. Settings is right here, and I've also dragged the settings app onto the home screen. It's not here by default, I simply just dragged it from the app drawer. And the third way is by swiping down twice to open the quick menu, and the settings app is right here. So with that being said, I'm going to be going to the settings. From here, we're going to go all the way down to System, and Gestures. And as you can see right here, we got System Navigation. By default, it's set to 3-button navigation. You're going to want to tap here. And now we're going to select Gesture Navigation. I thought you could change the order of the buttons, but on this phone, it looks like you can't. But anyway, when you select Gesture Navigation, instead of buttons on the navigation bar, all you're going to have down here is this little bar right here, giving the display a nice, clean, modern look. So now instead of using buttons, there are going to be a few different motions to keep in mind. First one is to go home. All you're going to do is swipe up from the bottom. To go to your recent apps, drag your finger up instead. And to go back, swipe your finger from left to right or from right to left. The direction doesn't matter as long as you swipe from one side to the other. Now, I personally really like gesture navigation just because when you really get the hang of it, it can make navigating with the phone a little bit faster. And I personally just think it looks a lot nicer too. But I know there are going to be plenty of people who don't like gesture navigation and might prefer the default 3-button navigation instead. So if you haven't already, I definitely suggest trying both out to see for yourself which one you like better, because it's really just going to be based on personal preference. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to customize your notifications. Notifications are of course important, but they can also be annoying if you have a lot of apps and you start to get more of the unnecessary ones that you really don't need. So I'm going to show you how you can control exactly which ones you get. So first thing we're going to do is go to Settings. From here, you're going to want to go to Apps and Notifications. Go to Notifications. There's a Recently Sent section right here. Tap on See All from last 7 days. And this is going to show you all the notifications you've gotten within the last 7 days. You can then turn off whichever ones you don't want to hear from. And of course, keep the ones you want. Now there are some notifications you can't turn off, but I've had this phone for a while and I haven't once gotten a notification that I've actually seen from any of these. These are really just the system things, so that's really not going to be a big deal. Now another important notification feature you might want to know about is Do Not Disturb. Sometimes you might be in a situation where you don't want to get any notifications from anything, and this is where Do Not Disturb comes in. You can access this feature through the settings, but there's really no need. All you need to do is swipe down like this, and see this little icon right here. You're going to want to tap on this, And now Do Not Disturb is on. And when you're ready to get notifications again, you can simply tap the icon one more time and it's going to turn off. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is similar to notifications, and that is the sounds. By default, there are several rather interesting sounds this phone makes, so I'm going to show you how to customize them, and you can turn them off as well if you want to. So we're going to go back to the settings, go to sound, and we have a few different volumes we can control. First one is media volume. Pretty self-explanatory. So if you're playing a game, listening to music, watching a video, that sort of thing. Call volume, that's the volume of the earpiece when you're talking. Ring and notification volume, so if you get a notification, text message, someone's calling you, something like that. Alarm volume, of course, that's your alarm. Now if you're not in mute or vibrate mode, your phone is not going to vibrate at all by default, but if you want it to vibrate and make sound, you're going to tap on where it says vibrate for calls. And as you can see, again, when you have your sound on, it's not going to vibrate, but you can turn it to always vibrate or vibrate first, then ring gradually. I've never actually tried that, but if you want to use that option, of course, it's there. Now, another thing in the sound menu that you might want to do is change your ringtone. So to do this, you're simply going to tap on phone ringtone. And right now, by default, it's going to do this. But of course, you can choose from any of these ringtones. And if you want, you can also add one as well. In addition to this, you can also change your notification sound. And this is the default. And of course, if you don't like any of the options that are already on the phone, you can also add a custom sound as well. Now you might have noticed as I've been doing things on the phone, it's been making this popping sound every time I touch the screen. I know a lot of people actually like that, but if you don't, you can always turn that off by toggling this option off right here. You can do the same thing for vibration because by default, it is going to give you a little feedback whenever you tap on something on the screen. You can also turn off the dial pad tones, screen locking sound, or the sound it makes when you plug in your phone. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to use the dark theme. The dark theme is a really cool feature. Whether you want to make the display a little easier on your eyes or you're just doing it for aesthetics, it doesn't really matter. It's a super easy feature to turn on. So let's take a look at how to do it. First thing we're going to do, of course, is go to settings. From here, you're going to want to go to display, and dark theme is the second option right here up at the top. Toggle it on. And now as you can see, we are in dark mode. You can also set a schedule so it'll turn on and off automatically. To do this, you're going to tap on dark theme. And as you can see, there's a schedule right here. And you can use a custom time or have it turn on from sunset to sunrise. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change the screen lock. Right now, I have it set to pin. So basically, when I'm unlocking the screen, it's going to ask for a PIN, or I can use the fingerprint scanner. So I'm going to show you how to set all this up. What you're going to want to do is go to Settings. From here, go to Security. And right here is the screen lock. It's going to have you enter your PIN. And here, you can choose between none, swipe, pattern, PIN, or password. In addition to this, from the main security menu, you can also set up your fingerprint or face unlock. Keep in mind, you don't have to do anything to turn those two on and off. As soon as you register a fingerprint or your face, they're automatically going to be activated on the phone, so you can instantly use them without having to toggle anything on. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. This is a pretty easy thing to do. All you need to do is press and hold the power key and the volume down key at the same time, just like this. Now keep in mind, you do have to press and hold these buttons. If you don't, they're not going to actually take a screenshot. It's not really going to do much of anything. So again, be sure to press and hold the power key and the volume down key at the same time until the screen flashes. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. If you've ever been in a situation where your phone falls asleep when you're reading something, this is definitely something you're going to want to know. So by default, this screen is set to automatically sleep after 30 seconds of inactivity. So to change this, we're going to go to the settings, go to display. From here, go to advanced, and screen timeout is right here. As you can see, you can set it as short as 15 seconds or as long as 30 minutes. But that was my beginner's guide for the visible midnight. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And once again, if you do want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my full review of it as well. But that's it for this video. As always, I will see you in the next one.